Greetings, everyone. This is the Gardening Snail of Livingston, California, with the July 6th, 2021 City Council meeting agenda overview. The whole agenda packet is 152 pages long. We're going to go quickly over the agenda itself and then get into some of the details you just might want to know. Closed session 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Open session set to open at 7 p.m. You can teleconference in by calling 605-468-8002, access code number 156811#. The meeting will be streamed on YouTube Live. Public comments can be submitted via email at citycouncil@livingstoncity.com. Comments must be received by 2 p.m. on the day of the City Council meeting. You will need to provide meeting date, item number, name, email, and comment. Please limit to 300 words or 3 minutes, and please include public comment in the subject of the email. Under closed session, public employee appointment, the title, City Attorney, labor negotiations for the City Attorney, and more conference with labor negotiator for all of the employees. Regular meeting, open session begins with call to order, followed by announcements and reports. 2 public hearings continued from the last City Council meeting, one for a new rate schedule for water service and another for a new rate schedule for domestic wastewater service. Followed by citizens' comments, normally limited to 3 minutes, although I have seen them go longer from time to time. On the consent agenda, where everything is voted on at once, a warrant register, the second reading for new rates for solid waste services, an approval of minutes of the meetings held on January 19th, 2021, a contract for the Phase 1 paving 6 dirt alleys, and a contract for the Phase 2 paving 2 dirt alleys. Discussion and potential action items. Voting delegate and alternate for the League of California Cities Annual Conference and Expo, September 22nd through the 24th, 2021. Resolution approving a legal services agreement for city attorney service and appointing a city attorney. Naming the Max Foster Complex Future Improvements Extension and the possibility of moving up citizens' comments, followed by direction on future agenda items, and finally adjournment. This is an excerpt from the staff report about the water rates. We'll look at a couple of things it says and then something it doesn't say. The Proposition 218 hearing was held June 15th, 2020. However, the City Council continued the item to the July 6, 2021 Council meeting for further discussion and possible approval adoption. What this doesn't say is that there was a vote taken and it had failed. There are a couple of alternative scenarios, including moving forward with a power purchase agreement to install solar facilities at the wastewater treatment plant and utilizing American Recovery Plan funds to pay for certain water and wastewater infrastructure improvements. The city is contemplating using ARP funds to cover the expenses associated with Well 12 conveyance and treatment, which are estimated at $2.0 million. This is from the ordinance document where we note that delinquent charges constitute a lien upon the real property being served. This is from the staff report for wastewater rates. Once again, what we don't see is a sentence about a vote having been taken and failing. What we do see here are a couple of reasons for the proposed rates, one being to replenish the debt service reserve fund, the other being to fully fund the operating costs of the system, leaving more funding available for other essential city services. Translation: fully pay for operating costs so we don't have to take from the general fund in order to make ends meet. This says the city has received bids for installation of solar facilities at the wastewater treatment plant. If the city moves forward with this project, there will be cost savings to the sewer fund as electricity bills are reduced. In addition to putting COVID relief funding towards the water system, the city is also considering funding the disc and ripper tractor, which is estimated to cost a bunch of money, in the next fiscal year with COVID relief funding. Sewer rates are lower under the 3 alternative scenarios presented. The wastewater ordinance also includes a section where delinquent charges constitute a lien upon the real property served. Garbage rates are on the consent calendar. This says the Proposition 218 hearing was held June 15th, 2020, and the City Council successfully adopted a resolution and waived the first reading of the ordinance establishing rates for solid waste service fees by the vote of 3-1 with one council member absent. At this July 6, 2021 meeting, the council will hold the second reading and adopt the ordinance. New solid waste service fees will be in effect on August 5th, 2021, and there is also that sentence that means basically that they want to fully fund the operating costs of the system so that they don't end up raiding the general fund. The meeting minutes for January 19th, 2021 is also on the consent calendar. Ironically, this was the same meeting that Trevor Taniguchi was appointed as city attorney. Not so ironically, due to some serious allegations of council member misconduct, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Livingston establishing the City of Livingston Code of Conduct for City Council members and appointed public officials made it to the meeting agenda. Although, given recent events, some people may see the comment about council members being held to a higher standard as ironic indeed. And here we see the topic of moving up citizens' comments and a vote taken. So I guess someone wants to give it another go around at this coming Tuesday's meeting. Paving dirt alleys. This one is for 6 alleys to be paid for by federal aid. The major work consists of paving 6 existing dirt alleys from Park Street to H Street between 7th Street and Joseph Street, from E Street to F Street in the city of Livingston. And this excerpt shows where the money's coming from. Paving 2 dirt alleys. Again, the lion's share of money is coming via the federal government. The major work consists of paving 2 existing dirt alleys between Peruso Street and First Street, connecting alleyway segments extending from B Street to D Street and D Street to F Street in the city of Livingston. And like the other project, funding will come from a combination of federal congestion mitigation air quality grants and local transportation funds. Now that COVID is supposedly to be mostly over and done with for the most part, I do believe politicians across the country are itching to get back to good old-fashioned meet and greeting and networking. Which means it's time for the Cal City's 2021 Annual Conference and Expo, scheduled for September 22nd through 24th, 2021 in Sacramento. In order to vote at the annual business meeting, the city must designate a voting delegate. The city may also appoint up to 2 alternate voting delegates, one of whom may vote if the designated voting delegate is unable to serve in that capacity. I'm just kind of wondering is, 1, how much is this going to cost us, and who's going to be traveling again? On to the staff report for the resolution approving a legal services agreement for city attorney services and appointing a city attorney. You'll notice there are some blanks in there. However, it does say there's a spot for the city contracted with blank for city attorney services after the former city attorney Trevor Taniguchi moved on from Myers-Nave to pursue other professional endeavors. This agreement is a long-term contract agreement. Let's look here. The City Council held a special council meeting on July 1st, 2021, and interviewed the firms in open session followed by a closed session format. The City Council emerged from closed session and has invited 2 of the 4 firms to a subsequent interview that has been scheduled for closed session on July 6, 2021. The City Council will direct staff to negotiate final terms for a full service agreement for city attorney services. The agreement will either continue the model for services for the position of city attorney through an independent contractor status based on the following options: hourly work, or use the retainer flat monthly fee, or overall cap for general legal services associated with this city legal services agreement. But with everything that's already on the closed session agenda, I'm wondering if they plan on fitting it all in 1 hour, or if something is going to get bumped to after the regular meeting adjourns. Any views or opinions I express on these videos are my own and do not represent the views or opinions of the City Council or City of Livingston. Unless, of course, I am using direct quotes or video from City Council or other public meetings, then it's pretty obvious whose opinion is whose. Copies of source documentation available upon request.